On this episode of Edge of the Web.
We try to get companies to think about doing something edgier with their content because that's what catches on. It's not the simple, basic talking head stuff that catches on.
Your weekly digital marketing trends with industry trend-setting guests. You're listening and watching Edge of the Web. Winners of Best Podcast from the Content Marketing Institute for 2017. Hear and see more at edgeofthewebradio.com. Now, alongside Tom Broadbeck, here's your host, Aaron Sparks.
Okay, welcome back to The Edge. Hey, we're broadcasting from Edge Media Studios in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana. Every week we're bringing you the latest trending topics in digital marketing as well as key influencers around the world. Check out all of our recent shows at Edge of the Web Radio. Actually, all the shows at edgeofthewebradio.com. Edgeofthewebradio.com. The show's powered by Site Strategics, your digital marketing pioneers that focus on agile marketing as a methodology. So if you're interested in what agile means as compared to maybe what your existing marketing professionals or marketing agency is doing for you, just give us a shout at 877-736. I haven't done this phone number in a while. 877-736-4932 or 877 SEO for web. You can see that right there on the screen. If you're interested in what agile is, I can tell you real quick, it's results-based marketing, and it's easy to say, but not nearly as easy to do. You literally have to watch each and everything that you're doing and then be able to adjust quickly with those results. So we'll be happy to talk to you more about that. In fact, if you go to sitestrategics.com, sitstrategics.com, you can even chat with me and a couple other individuals right there talking about agile. So
I saw that. I pulled up the website and I saw your little face right there.
I know.
That's new.
It is new. And I'm bouncing around there. And
new toy.
I've never been known to actually go after the shiny things.
Never.
So, I mean, we're actually experimenting with HubSpot right now
Okay.
and some of their messaging features. And I wanted to throw that one in there and put my mugshot on. If you want to talk to the CEO, whenever I'm available, I have the screen open. So I'm trying to make it myself as available as possible. How about that? So I'm your host, Aaron Sparks, CEO of Site Strategics, as well as Edge Media Studios. And this is Tom Broadbeck, Digital Media Director of Edge Media Studios and Site Strategics. Hi. There he is. And the reason we do this show is twofold. Obviously, it's a marketing execution for us, but it's also we want to be able to be these educators inside the digital marketing space where we can actually provide you value, provide potential prospects some education on what we do, but really focus on the innovators and the influencers that are inside digital marketing, kind of demystify some of these key concepts, break down and be able to talk about what some of these tactics mean to you, the marketer. So if you're interested in what we're doing, check out the show on iTunes, on podcast, across all of the different platforms, but as well as livecast inside of Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope coming soon. And on top of everything else, just check out what we're doing regularly with our show notes over at edgeofthewebradio.com. If I could, I'd like to toss an introduction to our guest and let everybody listen and to meet our friend of the show. That's David Feinman, CEO of Viral Ideas. David, how are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful, Aaron. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're more than welcome, more than welcome. And you're hearkening from Philadelphia today.
From beautiful Philadelphia, and it's very sunny today, too, so it's very fitting.
You couldn't tell. It's kind of looking like you're in a bunker right now, David. What's going on there?
Hey, I like to keep it windowless. It's the way we roll.
Don't let the employees know. It's like a Vegas casino without all the fancy lights and everything.
Not a clock anywhere. Either.
No clocks, no windows.
Nothing fun,
Okay, I just watched a B film yesterday, Blood-Sucking Bastards. It literally about vampires in an office space. Gotta love it. It is so funny. It was 2015, but they actually controlled all the light in the office and prevented most sunlight to come in so the vampires could actually do their office work, right? So you're not a vampire, are you, David?
No, not at all. Actually,
Sounds like the worst movie.
This is awful. But we actually painted our walls, except for this office in here, we painted our walls a certain color that's supposed to make everyone happier. We'll see how it plays out over the next 2 years. For now, we're vampires.
Well, viral ideas. I mean, who knows? It could catch on. No, can't. Is it going to stop right there?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was just a non sequitur
man.
from hell. But I appreciate it. Hey, you can catch this show on all the favorite podcast platforms: iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, SoundCloud, Podbean, Spreaker, Acast. If we're not where you're wanting to listen to us, give us a shout. We'll certainly get the
And
the
our show
broadcast
is
there.
not listed wherever Aaron watched that movie from. So we are not listed next to Vampire Office.
It was funny. It was hilarious.
Is it like Steve Carell and?
It was. It actually had some flavors of The Office. Means
Dwight Schrute's getting his mug or stapler.
it was
in
like The
Jell-O, but
Office
with
meets
zombies or
Dusk Till
vampires.
Dawn. It was awesome. We enjoyed it
guess.
greatly. Okay, so
we should do the next show from there.
I think the team of producers would love that. It was a fun, rambunctious film. It really was, and the gore, the explosions of blood packets. It was fantastic. All right. Hey, this segment, although they probably don't want to be associated with it, this segment is brought to you by SEMrush, the world's leading competitive intelligence and keyword research tool used by over 1 million marketers every day to give them an edge over their competition. See? I love it.
Yeah.
Every time. If you want to see exactly where your competitors are advertising online, then head on over to semrush.com/edge of the web, all one word, to get your free 14-day free trial. So check that out. The tool's fantastic, and we use it literally every day around here. And the tool has expanded into an entire reporting engine for your use. So if you're a marketer looking for a really good package of delivery of reporting and just monitoring your clients' behavior online as well as competitors, check out semrush.com. All right, so let's take you through some of the latest digital marketing news today.
I was very excited to start my reportings.
This week's trending topics.
Okay, so we tossed some news articles over to Daniel as well, and we wanted to make sure that we got him on board here from the street. All right, from Leon Lazaroff, Facebook exec Campbell Brown says, we are launching a news subscription product now. So, Tom, tell us about this.
So here, straight from the article, a week after publishers asked Congress for an antitrust exemption to negotiate collectively with large platforms. Aaron, turn the volume off.
Sorry.
Specifically Facebook and Alphabet's Google. The executive of the head of company's news partnerships said Facebook will launch a subscription-based news product with initial tests that will begin in October. This feature appears to be built on top of Facebook's Instant Articles, which aggregates stories from hundreds of publishers based on readers' interests, blah, 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 blah. In addition to steering readers to a publisher's homepage to consider taking out a digital subscription, Facebook plans to erect a paywall, which would require readers to become subscribers of the platform after they've accessed 10 articles. The quote here from the guy says, one of the things we heard in our initial meetings from many newspapers and digital publishers is that we want a subscription product. We want to be able to see a paywall on Facebook, and that's something we're doing now and launching a subscription product, hopefully in October, they say.
Okay, this is the first monetization of Facebook. If this is a subscription, they're trying out that paid environment, and what best product to do than use news to do it, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm confused on how this will all work. It says based off Instant Articles. Are you able to access articles from those paywalled websites through Instant Articles that you wouldn't be able to otherwise?
Evidently.
I didn't realize that.
Well, they also haven't teed up any value, kind of like Red. YouTube Red, they at least did it right where they were actually, at least showing the differences. If they're announcing this, we have no understanding of, one, what the value is, why we would be paying for something. I'm thinking they're going to be starting to move a paid environment into all of Facebook to just to try to get rid of some of the news and try to get rid of some of the ads as well. What do you think?
So my opinion on this is, I think advertising is moving away from kind of the quick and dirty and towards something that's more meaningful. So I think people would be willing to pay for content that is premium, and they always have. They pay for it on Netflix, they pay for it on Hulu, they pay for it, on Amazon, their subscription service. So I think it only makes sense for Facebook to do something like this with news.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, the only issue I see with this is once something's been established as being free, and then all of a sudden you have to pay for it. That's when people get angry. When they know going in it's paid for from the beginning, and then they're more accessible or susceptible to those increases or pay rates or whatever. If it was free, it's been free. Now I'm going to have to get paid. I don't know how well it'll fly, but it'll be interesting to see how this comes out. Like I said, it's not ready yet till October, but just keep an eye out for that.
No, I know it's challenging to say the least. That the pay environment is about to be experimented on with Facebook, and they've never. I mean, I think it's just a clutter right now, and if they don't do it smartly, they're going to disenfranchise a huge audience. Huh. All right. Well, with that, next news item on the next web from D.S. Bradford is Twitter purposely blocking certain accounts from becoming verified. Oh, you better believe I've heard this for a number of years, especially from controversial news celebrities, right? Yeah. So, I mean, in this article from D.S. Bradford, he's talking about, 1 year ago, Twitter rolled out what thousands of users were hoping for, an opportunity to be verified, right? Now, anyone can actually apply to be verified, and they were holding that back for just celebrities and certain thresholds of
different influencers.
Exactly. And it seemed that although there were reports that anyone could get verified, they were misleading, as the language on the company's support page states that they still favor users of public interest in the areas of entertainment, sports, journalism, politics, and, of course, celebrities. And I'll double down that they were even going so far as selecting which political influencers they would verify as opposed to others, because I was hearing that in back channels of the political channels I listen to. So, Daniel, what do you think about this verification service?
So with the verification service, as far as that, I think the ones that should be verified are ultimately going to be verified just because of popular opinion, right? So if you have 1, 2, 3 million people on a Twitter account, you're likely going to pass that verification. Where if you're someone that's maybe up and coming, that's not as well known, Twitter might not want to recognize you to begin with. So it just kind of seems like the system in place. I have a couple hundred Twitter followers, so I probably wouldn't be verified, and maybe we could try after this to apply. But but I think it seems like what's right is going to eventually rise to the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was interesting here a little bit further down in the article. It says, at the time of the rollout, what you said was about a year ago, there were 310 monthly users on Twitter, and only 0.06% were verified. So less than 1% were verified on Twitter. In this last year, they've verified another 83,350 accounts have been added to that number. And if we were to assume this number is derived from roughly the same amount of monthly users, the growth has only been 0.00268887% over the last year.
That's it.
After opening up their for everybody to be verified, that hasn't happened. They actually said you have a higher chance of being struck by lightning than becoming verified on Twitter.
So they're just not doing it.
They're not. I tried for our show.
Yeah.
Except for news publishers. We have a successful podcast.
Absolutely.
And they shot us down every time.
Wow. See, that's just not nice. All right, next article. We're not even going to give them any more exposure. Okay, from TechCrunch. Hey, Google introduces the feed, a news stream of your evolving interests. All right, so check this out. This is from Lucas Matney over at TechCrunch. More than 4 years after the launch of Google Now, the company has fully dissolved its AI assistant into the DNA of many of its core product offerings. Nowhere is this impact more evident than in search, where Google has significantly shaken up its philosophy on what a term like search even means whenever you know how so much about users and their interests. So Google today is actually delivering an update to the feed it introduced to its Google app last year, bringing more attention to showcasing the information its knowledge graph has actually built on the users while allowing them to follow certain topics and people to shape what they're seeing. So this is the evolution of this push-pull technology where you're completely categorizing what you're literally seeing on your Google feed, right?
Yeah, and it's not just Google, not Google Now for Android users. This is Google.com. So the Google.home, the homepage of Google.com will not just say Google and have a search bar. There'll be a news feed of different articles and your interests.
And Jim, if you scroll down there a little bit, you'll actually see there's
a little GIF.
Yeah, there's a little GIF that's actually playing out of the different feed, the different personalization, and how you can actually customize that. Are we in the era of fully personalized internet news?
Especially from a smartphone device. I mean, I don't really want to read most of the news articles I see. I would care about my sports teams. I care about what technology I'm searching. I care about the SEO matters that I'm following.
Right.
That's what I care about to see about on my phone, and I love it on Google Now. I just went on a trip and read my email, which can be creepy for some people, but I found interesting that, right there's my hotel reservations, and there's a button I could click to get the directions to the hotel, and there's how long I'm staying, and they added it directly to my calendar all by itself.
All right.
It seems interesting too, as kind of a play off of Facebook. So Facebook has, we kind of talked a little bit about how Facebook is evolving with their news platform. These guys, Google also wants to kind of compete in that realm, wants to capture some of the share of voice of news. So they're kind of moving towards that, it seems like.
Yeah, they are. I'm going to double down here and actually give you a little bit of insight into all this personalization. Now, several shows ago, we were talking about the home being that one central hub of intel. That the internet will actually know more about you, of your what your preferences are, what you're talking about, what your interests are. Now, you're talking about your interactivity within the different browser platforms, and you're broadcasting your digital preferences one way, shape, or form. Now Google's giving you that additional customization, so you can personalize everything that you want.
Yeah, but it'll also learn about you as you're searching for other things. So, I mean, I've been looking to upgrade my phone, and I've been reading about the Google Pixel.
Right.
And so whenever there's an article about Google Pixel, that's always like the top article, obviously because it's a Google phone, but it's right there at the top of my news feed. I'm a huge Cincinnati Reds fan. Every day I get a notification of the new the highlights of the night before of the Reds game.
Okay.
They've been terrible, so I haven't been watching them, but I mean it's right there.
All right. So I'm going to, like I said, I was going to double down here, is that we have an Alexa at home, okay? The Amazon Echo.
Yep.
All right. So
we have one right here.
Yes, we do. And the family was talking about getting a pool skimmer. Got a little tiny pool in our backyard, one of those inflatable things. All the kids have been playing the entire time. Talking about getting a pool skimmer. All right. We have done no searches online.
Okay.
We have not done any interaction with the internet.
Yep.
Guess what shows up in our personalized ads?
There you go.
There it is. Google's Amazon's listening and moving ad content right into it. So now, so we got freaked out a little bit.
Yep.
So we started actually doing some experimentation.
Okay.
Now we're talking about hamster cages. We don't have a hamster. There's absolutely no place in the entire house that we'd ever talk about hamster cages, just to see if it's that responsive, because it freaked us out. But if that's the case, what's next? Are we literally just going to give all of our conversations to the ad space?
Probably. and I mean, as creepy as it sounds, it's there. And do you have the Amazon one with the screen too?
No.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little more creepy with the video side of things. But yeah, I mean, there's an article. It's got to be keep listening all the time. I don't know how people don't think it is, but it has to be listening all the time, because it has to be able to pick up when you say it's Q or whatever.
Yeah, it's always there.
So it's always listening.
Yeah, it started to push content, and the wife says, "No, get it out of the house now." Daniel, what about this AI? What about the listening content and delivering messages that are personalized? This is very Minority Report. You realize this?
Yeah. So I've actually noticed the same thing. Actually, my name's David. By the way.
I'm so sorry. What?
That's all right. It's
I don't want to correct you.
Oh, my
Yes,
Lord.
it's
I
David.
didn't want to correct you either. But
We'll fix this in post. Why was I triggered on Daniel?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, David, I'm so sorry.
a lot of people call me Daniel, so it's fine.
That's what I was keying off of. We all want you to change your name, David.
Not today, but
I'm so sorry.
But anyway, I actually noticed something similar where I'll start talking about something and an ad will pop up. Now, It could be totally something, if I want to buy it, maybe I have searched for it and in my sleep, some people sleep text, maybe I'm sleep shopping or something. My question is with the pool skimmer, the first thing that came to my mind is, did it work? Did you buy the pool skimmer?
No.
No,
We ran screaming out of the house, petrified that we were being spied on.
Like Bezos, come on, this is too far. But no, I actually think this is good. This is going to become the norm.
Yeah.
Because, there's so much data. I watched this one documentary on Netflix. It's called Terms and Conditions May Apply.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what you sign off to is basically just giving away all your data. All these companies, they have it already, right. And we sign off to it. And it take us years to read all the terms anyway, and we just do it. Yep. So, I think eventually, stuff is just going to be shipped to our door, like the little Amazon buttons that you could put by the different products.
Yep,
it's going to happen. It's just a matter of.
It's already happening, but boy, that was the shock right there.
And I'd argue that you are probably not the average consumer of an Alexa. You're in the marketing space. You kind of know what's happening. If somebody not in that field might be like, oh, I've been talking about pool skimmers and I happen to see one.
This is amazing. What a coincidence. So. All right, so talking about revealing some information, why don't you reveal some information to us?
Here we go.
So go over to edgeofthewebradio.com and you can reveal your email. We won't use it for anything else except for bringing you a newsletter each and every week, providing some great information, some great insights to who we've interviewed, what we talked about, some of the articles that we talked about, and much more. So edgeofthewebradio.com, sign up right there. You can also even text to the number with your smartphone right there, 22828, to the number 22828, the word Edge Talk, and you can actually sign up right there for nuggets of digital gold. We're not listening to you yet, but maybe we should.
We should.
All right, well, follow all of our featured trending topics over at edgeofthewebradio.com. So right now, let's deep dive with this week's featured guest.
Now it's time for Edge of the Web featured interview with David Feinman, CEO of Viral Ideas Marketing.
That's right,
David.
That is David. And thank you, Deep Voice Guy, for correcting me. I am so very sorry.
It was nice to see my head in that little thing. It was kind of like that's a nice touch.
We aim to please. And at least Deep Voice Guy got your name right. So sorry, David. So David... David is actually the CEO and co-founder of Viral Ideas. By the age of 23, Dave has actually launched 6 ventures with $2 million in total revenue. He also gained national recognition for creating the zombie run that went viral across the country. Viral Ideas is Dave's effort to actually share his successful business strategies and expertise in digital marketing to help clients build their customer base and revenue. So welcome to the show again, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Hey, can we give our audience a little bit of taste of the zombie run?
Sure.
All right. Let's go ahead and let that one run.
That's right, Diane. Doctors still appear to be baffled by this new so-called super flu. They're still unsure of exactly how it spreads, and with it reaching near epidemic proportions, the quarantine was enacted and enforced by the National Guard early this morning. Armed troops are not allowing visitors in or letting employees out, as you can...
Oh man, that is wicked. Fantastic stuff. So tell us about the zombie run, David.
Yeah, so it's a fun story. So I started it. The original concept actually started when I was back in high school.
Okay.
Me and a buddy were contemplating in class how it would be faster. You'd run a lot faster if you were chased, which is totally true.
Mm-hmm.
And we eventually schemed up the zombie run, launched it in Philadelphia, PA,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually went to 16 cities throughout the country, and basically built the whole thing on the back of Facebook video ads, kind of like the one you just saw.
Cool. So what was the attendance? I mean, what were you able to actually pull out in all these different cities?
So we did about 35,000 people around the country participated in it, and that was just in our first year.
So this is a regular yearly thing. So when's the next one coming to Indianapolis? I absolutely sorry. I'm just going to jump in there. I would love to be part of that. I don't even run. That's what's wild about this. I want to be chased by zombies.
Yeah, so I mean, the most vicious part of it was actually the kids. So you saw a couple of the kids in the video.
Yeah,
and the kids would actually just kind of chase after you, and they would not stop. They had a lot of energy, more so than I did, and they were a couple times that I actually ran it myself. I actually got chased down by like a couple of these little kids. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's creepy too. So it was a 5K, right?
It was a 5K. Yes.
Yeah. So. You got this out there, and you used Facebook ads to be able to move it. How did it go viral? And I know that's a huge question to ask, but I mean, this is your space, creating viral videos. How did that traction happen, and how did it get momentum?
It's a good question, and a lot of people think it happens by accident, and virality is something that just kind of takes off. But I really don't think it does. Mm-hmm. So. In particular with the zombie run, our strategy was we would produce videos after each event, and we'd have different cuts of it, and we would, send them out to news stations. And it was something that was very magnetic, the zombie run, something that's, you watch the video, it's something that's like very out of the ordinary. So we kind of used our content strategy, which was, delivering these videos of the zombie run. And there was so many elements, like the helicopter, that was actually an element of the race. We would actually have a helicopter that would go around the race.
Fantastic.
And we use those elements to kind of pitch news channels. So we did every feasible news channel, the Daily Show in every city that we would ever go in. We were on Anderson Cooper, Wired, Wired Magazine, CNN, kind of straight up the media line. And the reason for that was because we came up with content that was a little more edgy and a little bit more risky. And I think a lot of times when companies think about making their content, and kind of what we do with Viral Ideas is we try to get companies to think about doing something edgier with their content, because that's what catches on. It's not the simple, basic talking head stuff that catches on.
Right.
It's, child chasing after man with zombie uniform.
One animal attack. They're always good. Yeah.
Yeah, the bear attack, everything. That's what kicks off. But companies are too afraid to let go of their brand.
Sure.
And something that's a little out there.
So it truly is a method and a recipe that you have to bring to the table, and we want our listeners to understand you can't just cross your fingers and hope something gets viral, right?
Correct. There's a strategy behind it, and behind the way you run your ads, the way you produce your video for those ads.
Absolutely. But I mean, congratulations on that. And you've had a number of different viral videos fully planned out and executed, and these things take off, right?
Correct. So I've only had that one. I'm just kidding. We make a couple dozen videos, a month for our clients.
Fantastic.
A lot of them gain some pretty good traction.
Okay, so talking about viral videos are one thing, and if it can take off, it's fantastic. But you still have a great platform for mobile video advertising. The consumer is in the mobile space, bar none. I mean, we know that's the consumption layer right there. That's the first point of penetration sometimes. Mm-hmm. So starting from the beginning, where should you start when you're starting a mobile video advertising campaign?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it really depends on the individual company. And I know a lot of your listeners are, SEO, digital marketers. So I think when you're thinking about doing just a mobile video campaign, nothing viral, you have to think about the different elements of your business under the guise of emotion. So mobile video works well because people are sitting in their car, on the train. Hopefully they're not driving at the same time. They're sitting at work, sleeping through their news feed. And when they see something that has an emotional reaction or that elicits that, that's what they're going to stop on versus something that's more of a basic content that doesn't have that emotion. And emotion can be anything. It could be laughing, it could be crying, it could be, anger, it could be fear, whatever it might be.
Yep.
It just has to elicit something. So when you're thinking about starting something, you start with what emotion do you want to hit and kind of build your platform from there.
Excellent. So you work these strategies with your company, the clients that you work with on a regular basis. Well, what kind of tips can you give us to prevent someone from clicking the skip ad button on a YouTube environment or what have you? I mean, there's so much counter influencers to get that emotion going, right? I mean, that is like your nemesis right there, is it not?
So with YouTube pre-roll, we actually don't do too much of that. We do mostly Facebook native video, as well as YouTube, because with Facebook pre-roll, it is tough to get people to not click skip.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of trained at this point to have your finger on that skip button.
Yep.
Those first 5 seconds, you'd rather see something that you want to see, and it's oftentimes a little bit of a turnoff.
Yep.
But as far as stop getting someone to stop the scroll within Facebook, you just want to have an image or 2 to 3 seconds of something in the beginning that's powerful. It could be a kid with a friendly look on her face. It could be someone helping a dog. Anything to just capture an emotional attention
as quickly as possible. So if you're delivering predominantly inside the Facebook social platform and native advertising, have you started to develop? We're already hearing some of the archetypes that you have there. Are you starting to develop a kind of a hook recipe for that? It's not even 7 seconds anymore. I mean, it used to be where our the battle wage on acceptability and conversion on a website page literally was 7 seconds. We're in the microseconds now. As people are scrolling through, they're seeing that aperture of your video, right? And I mean, your CTR right there is if they stop and look and then move on.
And if you can get them to stop and look, now your key is how do you keep them interested?
Right.
So we've done 8 to 10 minute videos where we'll get a decent percentage of the audience to watch till the end. And the reason is kind of to your point about archetyping is when people are thinking about creating videos, you want to follow the type of video that makes people watch longer, which is television and movie. And people will watch a movie for 2 hours because it's archetyped the correct way.
Right.
They'll watch a television show for 30 to 45 minutes because it's archetyped in a way that keeps you moving,
No, you're absolutely right. Now, I'm going off a reservation here. I just came across a news article yesterday regarding there's OJ, so fantastic.
We were just talking about him earlier.
See, I'm just trying to pepper the show with OJ so we can get some trends. All right, so what was his name? He just jumped in, and he's a huge influencer in coming from CNN. What's his name? He just exploded on the map on the West Coast, talking about his new delivery of viral or an entire broadcast channel of 10-minute videos. Oh, okay. Talk amongst yourself. I'm going to find this real quick. It's very, very important because it's absolutely spot on what you're talking about.
Yeah. So what's the archetype that you say to get people to keep watching like an 8 to 10 minute video that you've produced for your clients? So you got the hook there at the beginning. Then what?
So you're generally framing a problem, right? And there's some sort of conflict that happens within it. Then you think the conflict's about to be solved, and it's not. And then you peek again, and then you solve the conflict.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's pretty much the tried and true methodology of creating a movie or creating a television show. Or if you look at an episode of Scrubs or House, 2 shows that I followed a lot. They're all the same at their core, but they have different content plugged into them. And the reason for that is because it works.
Gotcha. So Facebook's mainly where you're targeting. Is it just purely you're just seeing more success out of it versus YouTube side of things, or I'm just trying to figure out not necessarily the pre-roll ads for YouTube, but just YouTube ads, YouTube videos in general. Are they lower in priority versus just Facebook videos, I guess?
So the reason we go with the Facebook for a lot of our clients is because their ad platform allows you to engineer a video. So let's say you're a pet store, for example.
Sure.
You can make a whole video about pets and specifically tailor it to the people that you want to see it, and run an ad at their audience. Where YouTube is a little more interruption driven, suggestion video driven. So we find that you can get the most rapid response from a Facebook video versus a YouTube video.
Gotcha. Can you share some other best practices you have for creating this recipe for your clients?
So the other kind of foundational thing that we always chat with people is thinking about creating some level of story when you're creating the video. So we kind of talked about the movie and the television show, but a lot of times people will go into pitch city once you're 10 seconds into the story, they're like, okay, we have to plug everything right now. Mm-hmm. You can let the story play out a little bit and then let the plug just kind of happen within the video. And it kind of plays into the mindset of what Facebook and YouTube are there anyway. So the videos tend to do better if there's no immediate direct call to action.
Gotcha. Because people feel they're being sold, right? I mean, you've got to kind of slide them in naturally.
Exactly. I got like 10,000 staplers in the other room if you guys want to buy it, but
All right. Forgive me for deep diving. This is where I wanted to come back around to. So Jeffrey Katzenberg, all right, the former DreamWorks exec, actually just released new TV, and he pitched it. It's 10-minute episodes, all right. So I'll toss you the news item here. It's over at Engadget. There's a number of them, but basically he's actually pitching, and Variety actually did a featured story about the idea of new TV appearing to be 10-minute videos that are going to be series videos moving in, and for consuming on the treadmill or on the, hopefully you don't dial it in whenever you're on the commute. But it was striking to me, especially when we were about to talk to you about this, and forgive me for not having it prepped, but literally the consumer is dialed in to brief videos. Now what we're seeing, especially with this type of potential delivery of serial videos, we're in this space where long form's going away. You're primed for this, obviously, David. Is that be able to deliver this type of content, this packaged short form content? People are already listening to it on the podcast side of things. I mean, this is just going to be huge. And can you give me a little bit of your perspective of how you've seen consumers dial in on more and more short form, and what do you see as the topography here?
So I kind of see this evolution of kind of micro television, right? Mm-hmm. So if you look at, I'm a little late to the game here, but I just got the Apple TV, and I was scrolling through it because I wanted to check out the user interface. Mm-hmm. You're actually within the Apple TV interface, and I know this is probably old news, but it relates directly to this. You can go in and you could see, Facebook videos, you could see YouTube videos, and you can interact directly with them. And a Facebook or YouTube video might be 10 seconds, might be 30 seconds, might be 10 minutes, like you said. But it's these little micro shows that people are following. Same things occurring on Snapchat. Right. Same things occurring with Instagram stories where people, flush out a story for the day or go live. Or even what we're doing right here. This is a weekly episode, of a show that you're broadcasting out of your studio. Mm-hmm. So I think it's basically, it comes down to kind of, to that article's point, fragmented publishing, mm-hmm. and the ability for anyone to publish well or poorly. Right. And, when they do it, they're able to publish on these channels that are built for this micro consumption.
Absolutely. So, I mean, the ultimate receiver is obviously the smartphone, because that's that personal window, and any coveted time, and the restroom breaks are also fully available for that. But people are going to be pulling that stuff down, and there very well could be an entire explosion of new content that is so short form. I mean, I'm just concerned is that we're doubling down on our ADD mentality and just divesting ourselves from long documentaries that can tell full stories. You're going to be stringing together these short videos to be able to tell the story at the consuming rate that people want to pull this in because of the busy schedule that they have. So it could be very well a serial environment where the long form documentary is sliced up into 24 shows.
Yeah. I mean, there's still long. It just all depends on the audience, you know. I mean, like you're saying, we still go to the movies and watch 2-hour movies,
right,
and then not splitting that up into 10-minute videos. I mean, there's still a place for long form. It's just the audience for the purpose of that video. I mean, it's still going to be there. I mean, you look at most YouTube videos I watch on YouTube are of like late night shows or whatever. Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel have kind of taken over that. They've made their show long form, but still
bite size,
in it as well. And so I think that's the way it'll go.
Yeah. So repurposing, a curation of long form and delivering it into more and more consumable. They
do a game with a celebrity. You know, those are less than 10 minutes, but you do enough of those over an hour long show, and you've got 7, 8, 10 videos that you can do out of just one show.
I think it's an interesting space too for companies, because if they're able to release kind of entertainment level content or documentary style content on their own channels, they're kind of just playing into the game where before they had to get on TV. Mm-hmm. Now they're able to just play into the game of Facebook or YouTube and release their own content. The problem is a lot of them just go right for the sell, like we talked about earlier. They just go kind of right for the close, or they want someone to buy from them immediately, where they could actually get a consumer's attention for 10, 15 minutes if with an entertainment piece of content, versus, something else.
All right. So let me ask you this. Now we're talking about short form, right? It's going to get more and more short. What about vertical videos? Is there a future for vertical videos? Because I tell you what, I can't stand them. But what I mean for the numerous population that can't flip their phone over, right? Vertical video syndrome. You got to look it up.
There's a whole video on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've seen it. Share it with people all the time.
In fact, that's part of our employee training manual.
So, you know what's interesting about this? Sorry to interrupt. But,
no, you're fine.
We've been doing a couple projects with a number of companies where they'll have that authentic reaction shot with a vertical video, and we'll intersplice it over with professionally shot video, on our nice cameras.
Yeah.
So what'll happen is, the clip that's 10 seconds is shot with horrible lighting and looks like crap, but it's authentic and it's raw, and everyone knows it was shot from a cell phone, and everyone knows that that's the way people shoot cell phone videos, and most people don't know to turn their thing like this.
Right.
So it creates a level of authenticity within the video, which kind of, allows for the as seen from the cell phone shot to enter, a corporate video, which has historically been scripted,
right?
Proper lighting, the makeup, the shirts on, when pressed and all well done. Where the other video is kind of shot a little shaky. There's no gimbal. There's nothing fancy. So
that's fantastic. No, that's a great utilization of that. Is that you're connecting more to that consumer on how they take their own videos. So bang, right there, you've got that. That's not so much a hook, but it is an empathy connection, right?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. YouTube also announced that they're also ending the unskippable 30-second ad earlier this year. Will this actually be a positive or negative effect on marketing campaigns? What do you think?
I mean, it depends on what side of the coin you're on. I think it's great. I mean, I personally don't want to watch a lot of the ads that pop up, and I create them for a living. Yep. So if it's a 30-second pitch from a company, or if it's like, you just don't want to see it. So I think it's better for the consumer. So I think advertisers and marketers like us are going to have to come up with more creative ways to deliver the video content and more creative ways to actually make it So it's going to come down to, can you make a video that stands by itself that people are searching for and want to watch?
Absolutely.
If the answer is yes, then you win. If the answer is no, then you're stuck with that 30-second interruption.
There's always a skip, and I think YouTube was answering the consumer's call, because it's a pain in the ass if you're going to force me to watch something I don't want to watch, right?
Always like, oh god, here we go, and then like, go get a couple waters. Or something. Have to watch it 30 seconds.
Dog,
Can I ask you? So, can you give us some tips just on just Facebook videos in general of how to get more shares, how to get more interaction with your videos on Facebook? So we've done a few. We've seen some success with captions. I've seen a lot, especially mostly Gary Vee, that they have the 16:9 video with words on top and the bottom. Are there some stuff like that you've seen work that doesn't work versus some other things?
Definitely yes to both those tricks. It works really well, especially captions. You'll see an instant, if you put captions on video, at least a 25% bump, in the number of views, kind of over everything.
Wow.
So from what we've seen, with our client base, just because people are watching them with no audio, so you have to build it.
Yep.
You have to build the video for that, and if you don't, you kind of get pushed down a little bit. Another kind of tip, especially for I think there's probably some small businesses listening, is partnering with other organizations in your area.
Mm-hmm.
Your chamber of commerce, let's say their local painter, you partner with the carpenter, do a video together, and play off of each other's audiences. You could double or triple the amount of views on a small scale that you're getting by just having the right people in your video, or having the right having the right partnerships in place.
Gotcha.
Groups are also great. So if you're able to get in a group and not spam, but like do a video that would make sense for that group.
Yep.
That we've seen, you can boost your views on a smaller scale.
Message to your audience, and know the audience you're going to be moving that video in, and create that content that's directly relatable, right?
Correct.
Very cool. Very cool.
Sir, one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
About the captions. Are you using the Facebook like the auto-generate captions within Facebook, or are you uploading your own file? How are you doing that?
Most of the time, so we let Facebook play itself out. Most of the time, it messes up. The tool is not perfect yet.
No.
It's not quite like the level of Alexa. Alexa knows everything.
Yeah.
Facebook's, I don't think, quite there. So we'll usually just go in and just correct everything, because it'll get 50%, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were doing that or just superimposing it in your video with like yellow subtitle text that you'd see like in a movie or something.
Usually we'll just use Facebook's
auto-generate.
Yeah, that's a lot of production right there. Yeah. And obviously there's also a visible challenge, because if you're letting that caption play through, then you really can't move anything. I mean, for example, our show right here, we've got banners down below of our feed, right?
Yeah.
Caption kills that. Caption just mires the legibility of that. So you got to figure. I mean, from a presentation standpoint, protecting the lower third so much to make sure that whenever the captions roll through, you're not trying to get something through on that lower third, right?
Yeah, and a lot of times too, when you shoot the stuff, you're shooting it a little different for social. Just keeping in the back of your head, this is the way people are watching it. They're watching it on their phone. So, understanding that, I think, is important for people creating this stuff, to understand that captions might go there. So pre-plan that out before you actually go and shoot.
No, and that's sage advice. So speaking of advice, to kind of give some key things to somebody, a company that's just wanting to start out their mobile video advertising, what top 5 things, recommendations would you give somebody starting up their first campaign?
The first campaign.
Yep.
I would say the first thing is determine the why you're doing it, right? So, and determine what your content's going to be. We do a lot of work with kind of everyone up from small businesses up to like Fortune 1000s, and all of their needs are a little bit different. So if you're the small local business, you might just want to show off your product offering in a creative way. Where if you're a large company, you might want to develop some sort of branded campaign. So kind of once you figure out what your campaign is, so let's go with the small business example of,
Sure.
like a local merchant that sells shoes. Once you determine what your campaign is, you want to determine how you're going to develop that creative. So if you're working with a company, you can work with a local video shop, whatever it is, or if you're doing it yourself, you're going to want to come up with a few ways to actually develop that shoe related content, be it, having someone run if you're going after runners, or, if you're going after the orthotic market, maybe you're, bringing in someone to walk around in the orthotics. So you're kind of determining what that content is, I think is the first step with everything.
Well said, sir. Well said. Well, you are certainly you've moved over your years into a targeted market. I mean, what am I trying to say? You're in the space where everything's moving. You're in the space of video content. Video consumption is by far the most interactive element and persuasive element for consumers. And second to and then the next level down is going to be audio. I mean, literally the red page, the written word is no longer a persuasive element. It is subservient to what you're creating on a regular basis. Are you seeing that ever going to be shifting? And what do you see in the future from a consumer engagement standpoint? Is video the wave that we're going to ride for the next 10 years?
That's a good question. I think. And I don't always like to predict the future,
sure.
But I'll throw my 2 cents in. I think you're seeing. I think virtual reality is a little bit of a way out. So I think video is becoming more popular because eventually you're going to see a very interactive environment to play in. When you're doing it. So if you look at back to Apple TV, you look at Facebook, live video platforms.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're looking, or even the Snapchat little environment. Where you can kind of pinch down. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but basically Snapchat has this new feature where you can pinch down and you can scroll through everyone's little Snapchat stories, in a given area. And you can see all the hot zones. All this stuff, you look at it, if you were to put on virtual reality goggles and you were to play around in these environments play, in my opinion, well with VR. So I think I definitely see the future of video playing well in a more interactive experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the tried and true is always going to be around there. Video is, movies have been around for years, television shows around for years. So the pillars of it, I think, will stay somewhat similar. But the medium in which we consume it, I think, that's what's going to evolve within the future.
Absolutely. And as the technology wraps, more wearable technology, saturates the marketplace. I'm wondering why Google Glass didn't hit when it did, because that would have been a great delivery of mobile videos, right? I think it was just
it was too soon. Time.
Yeah. So hey, David, I really appreciate your time today. Can you tell us, because you're obviously in the space and you're writing that video tide, and we completely appreciate that space, and that's obviously why we built what we built over here. What bugs you about your industry right now, as some stabilization's happening on video productions, and especially social video? What's bugging you right now?
So I think what's bugging me the most is a lot of production shops were built originally for television, and now they're trying to shift that same television mentality over into traditional, or into Facebook, or into a social media environment. And you're starting to see the 30, 15-second spot happen within the Facebook environment, which just doesn't work. So I think doing it right and right by kind of the companies and right by the different platforms is kind of what's bugging me a little bit about the space. And it's kind of one of the reasons we started up this company, is to make sure that stuff happens correctly with video online.
Are you finding some of the old school video ad companies coming to you for a bit of a consult? Are they reaching out to you, or are you a direct threat to everything that they've known?
I've actually had a few reach out to me, and we've had a couple lunches. So it's been interesting to kind of hear some feedback on their end and kind of how they make videos versus how we make videos. Because you can do it for social a lot cheaper than you can do it for TV. Not to say that the production quality is cheaper, and I think it's quite comparable, but you're consuming it on a tiny little phone versus a television. So you could do stuff different.
Absolutely. Well, conversely, what excites you about your industry right now?
I think as far as the industry, I think there's so much unrealized potential for companies, particularly in the smaller business. I'm a huge, and I've said it multiple times, a huge fan of small business. I'm a small business owner myself, and I love interacting with different merchants, different people that are selling things. So I think the potential for them to succeed within video is tremendous, because they just can't afford or compete with the large companies of the world that have millions of dollars in ad spend across every single channel, but they can be targeted niche within social video or online video.
The threshold of being able to produce video regularly is so low now. And Tom, you threw a article inside this organization here a while back, that Gary Vee's article about thinking like a media production company. Every marketing firm should.
Every company should.
Every company should. Yeah. Know that the consumers out there are waiting to hear your story painted in video. So, I mean, obviously you want to reach out to Viral Ideas Marketing to be able to help you in that. But David, you're really helping to clear away some of the garbage out there and be that evangelist that we need. So who else would you recognize that's doing great work in this space?
I've definitely seen a lot from Gary and VaynerMedia.
Sure.
As you said, like they put out a lot of videos, and they actually in part we actually launched a vlog for ourselves, doing our own video, about 4 months ago. Was it 4 months ago? Yeah, maybe 2 months ago. I don't know. We've kind of lost track of time, but we've done a couple episodes. We do a weekly episode of our vlog, and I kind of see that moving in that direction. There's definitely a lot of other local players around here that are kind of doing some great stuff in the market.
Very cool. Well, that's great. Well, we do have a great fun fact for you, and I mean it's very heartening to see this as well. You started your first company at 16 years old.
That is correct.
What was it?
So the details. So I started a half marathon when I was 16. I've always been a runner until I hurt my knee, but now I'm not a runner. Now I'm an eater.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. I'm connecting the dots here. You hurt your knee. You then did a viral video about people eating other runners.
It's kind of like my twisted imagination.
I'm thinking.
Some wires got crossed.
Yeah, there's some subconscious that was directly influencing that viral video.
Yeah, it usually takes people a couple of years to figure that out. It took you an hour, so. No, but so it was a half marathon, and we did it over at a local park, and it was the same strategy. We used basically email marketing, video, and Facebook to grow it from school to 1,000 people. By the time we finally said, okay, this is enough of doing this. So and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of great participants, and we raised money for a local charity as well. So there was that angle.
Very cool.
Which is the Pierce Foundation, which I'm still involved with today, and very proud of that.
Cool.
That's great, man.
So we've had a couple people from Philadelphia on. Got to ask, Pat's or Geno's?
Ooh.
Or other.
Some of my really good friends actually live right down by there. I would say I'm more of a Geno's guy, but I don't eat that many cheesesteaks. So my opinion might be a little skewed. I'm sorry if I piss anyone off. I'm actually more of a soft pretzel guy. Philly soft pretzels for people outside of Philly are kind of like the thing that people don't realize are a Philly thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So the pretzels kind of get pushed down with the cheesesteaks.
Cheesesteak eclipsed is a regular thing over there. I mean, cheesesteaks are Philadelphia, right?
Cheesesteaks are a Philadelphia thing, but the pretzel, I think, doesn't get enough of attention. And I think the pretzel, we actually have a pretzel place, walking distance from our office, phenomenal pretzels, but they're not made like this, I think, anywhere else in the country that I've been able to find.
Really?
So the Philly, next time you're in Philly, we'll go and get you a proper pretzel, and then we'll go to Pat's.
We actually may be coming out to Philly sometime soon. We're trying to arrange a few things, so we may actually be visiting relatively soon. So we're gonna have to have a pretzel while we're getting our cheesesteak.
I hadn't heard that before.
all the carbs and cheese.
No, wait a minute.
That's my kind of meal.
Best ingredient in the world.
So, is there something that we can produce, we can promote for you today?
I would say just kind of check out my website, viralideamarketing.com.
Yep.
We're working with a lot of great businesses, large and small, producing all kinds of content from we'll do everything as simple as editing your clips down to full scale productions where we come up with a concept and scheme up something that could potentially go viral.
Very good, very good. You can also track Viral Ideas on Twitter at Viral Ideas Marketing, on Facebook, Viral Ideas Marketing as well, and on LinkedIn, you can follow David over at David Feinman and some characters. Just search David Feinman, you'll be able to find him with Viral Ideas. Instagram is Viral Ideas Marketing, and David, thank you so much for your time today, and apologies about my misfire there. I have no idea why that was in my head, but thanks for straightening me out. Thank you very much for straightening me out, Tom.
I was trying to figure out some way to not do it over the air.
I was thinking, should I chat that? I think we got to sort it out in the hard.
Yeah. Well, it was your alter ego. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's all biblical. I was bouncing around biblical names at the time, so I don't know what.
There we go.
All right, well, David, thank you so much for your time, and I would certainly ask you to share often what our conversation today and your great inspiration from what's really happening in digital marketing. Everything works together, obviously. All the different tactics work together, but viral, just the video production and short form video production is just skyrocketing right now, and the social media realm. I mean, Facebook is absolutely dialed in, tenfold to be able to produce and be able to provide a venue for your advertisers. So you're doing a fantastic job. We're certainly going to watch your production from afar. And if we come across our paths, I would love to take you out for a cheesesteak.
Hey, it's on me.
Thanks so much. All right. Thanks for watching and listening to Edge of the Web Radio. Special thank you to our colleagues here at Site Strategics and our guest, David Feinman. Make sure you check out all the must-see videos and much more of the insider information over at edgeofthewebradio.com. That's edgeofthewebradio.com. Do not be a piece of cyber driftwood. We'll talk to you next week. And check out those viral videos. Go check out the zombie run. It is too cool. The makeup was fantastic. All right. Take care. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.